Another year, another wrap of the weirdest, wild, wacky, witty, and wondrous stories wielding the who, what, when, where, and why of the worthiest world whatnot, worth the wait, but leaving watchers whipped, warned, wigged out, worse for wear, and walking on air. Let's take a look at 2023. A podcast became a pod crash when a pair of Houston show hosts had their spotlight suddenly stolen by an unscripted car crash.
Holy sh**.
Well put. Luckily, the pair escaped unscathed and with plenty to talk about on their next show. Security video from Canada caught a pair of thieves taking a shortcut in a stolen car through a closed mall. It was like a scene from the Blues Brothers, but with significantly less singing and dancing. Police said the suspects ripped off even more stuff inside the mall. Arrests were later made in connection with the after-hours shopping spree. A North Carolina driver landed in hot water after heart-stopping dash cam video showed him nearly hitting a pair of school bus riders. That was the bus driver's understandable freak-out. Thankfully, the kids were okay, and the police arrested the driver, who they said already had a suspended license. Nice. Speaking of unfit drivers, Slovakian authorities were doggone dumbfounded, going viral with a now legendary traffic cam still of a dog captured behind the wheel of a speeding car. The driver told police the dog had jumped in his lap against his wishes. The dog didn't tell anyone anything. He's a dog. Animals out of their element can be intimidating and give you pause. Case in point, viral video from Australia showed a man square up against an absolutely jacked kangaroo.
I'm gonna punch your head in.
The ripped roo had the man's dog in its clutches, but didn't know this guy was a martial arts expert who wasn't afraid to dole out uppercuts down under. This Australian windsurfer was left with a whale of a tale to tell after he got nailed by a breaching behemoth. The man was pulled underwater by his safety strap, but luckily it snapped, allowing him to resurface stunned, but no worse for wear. There was no shortage of surreal science stories to share this year, like this weird question mark spotted in space. Spoiler alert, it's just an oddly shaped galaxy. And this donut-shaped rock found on Mars. Spoiler alert, it's just a rock. It looks like a donut. But when the brainiacs of air and space aren't solving intergalactic mysteries, they're apparently designing cutting-edge paper planes to break a world distance record. That's what a pair of young Boeing engineers did along with a friend, flinging their precisely packed paper projectile a staggering 290 feet and into the record books. There were a few whoopsie-daisies, like a cattle car of cows that inexplicably started dropping one by one onto a busy North Carolina road. The heifers were okay, but did force drivers to move over in a high-stakes game of chicken. Or like this marathon runner in Atlanta left kicking herself after making a wrong turn in the home stretch of a race she was leading 50 feet from the finish line. She still finished third, but the mistake cost her thousands in winnings. Or the Boston cop who went viral after taking a tumble down a city park slide, and tumble may be underselling it. The officer received minor injuries, and the wild ride drew enough attention the mayor's office vowed to look into the safety of the slide, but by then social media had already done what it does so well. There was also far too much of the weird and wild, like teeny tiny designer handbags, dancing dinos by the thousands, ultra-low lowriders riding real low, marijuana-laced high tides, dueling fat bears, definitely not fake bears, we swear, flightless eagles fathering rocks, sloth-bombed rocket launchers, gargantuan golden retriever get-togethers, and so forth. But my favorite feel-good story of the year had to be George of the Jumbotron. A 4-year-old hockey spectator became a legend in an instant when a Jumbotron operator kept zeroing in on him at his first ever Detroit Red Wings match, and the crowd couldn't get enough, delivering ever-growing cheers for little George, but jeers for anyone else. It was win-win. The team got itself an adorable new mascot, and a kid was crowned a king. For Take a Look at 2023, I'm Jeremy Roth.